Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet our guest of honor for this evening, one of the most talented actors who has ever appeared on the screen. Sit down, Morgan, sit down. One of the most gifted of the child stars who have come to mean so much to Hollywood in particular and to the public in general. Here he is, the star of David Copperfield, Captain's Courageous, and MGM's latest achievement, Lord Jeff, Master Freddie Bartholomew.
Thank you.
Yeah, Freddie, I tried to see the preview of Lord Jeff the other night, but there was such a mob I couldn't get tickets.
Well, that sounds like a lame excuse, Mr. Taylor.
Oh, now, Freddie, you mustn't jump at conclusions. I couldn't see the preview, but I saw it here at the studio this morning, and I think it's great.
Well, that makes me very happy. Wasn't Mickey Rooney marvelous?
Yes, he certainly was. You and Mickey were both top. All the kids were great. How did you like the picture, Freddie?
Well, I haven't seen it yet. You know, it's going to be quite a while before it's showed at the theater in our neighborhood.
Oh, why don't you see it when it opens at Grauman's Chinese?
Well, I'd rather not answer that, Mr. Taylor.
Well, if you have some personal reason, that's okay with me. But if you're in a hurry to see your picture, I don't understand why you have to wait till it reaches your neighborhood theater.
Well, I know you don't. But, Mr. Taylor, have you ever tried to sneak in the side door of Grauman's Chinese?
Well,
have you?
Freddie, now you're talking my language. Why, when I was your age, I was the most notorious theater crasher in Nebraska.
Really?
Yes.
You know, I was quite a menace in London some years ago. That is, until one unfortunate afternoon.
Well, what happened?
Well, I was smuggling 17 young friends into the gallery of the Hackney Empire.
Did you say 17?
Well, I was giving a theater party.
Oh.
As luck would have it, we were collared. We hadn't seen the show either.
What'd they do to you?
Well, they hustled a lot of us off to the Old Bailey. And that's really the most terrifying jail in all of London.
Do you mean to say you actually spent a night in the Old Bailey?
Did I? Why, that's my favorite hotel. I always stop there when I'm in London.
When you're in London. Frank, it might interest you to know that the Old Bailey is not a hotel, it's a prison.
Oh, well, no wonder they were so strict about having guests in your room. It's a great place, London.
Yes, it is, Mr. Morgan. A very jolly town.
Yes. Freddie. I didn't see you there, you little nipper. What ho, pip-pip. What do you hear from the group?
Mr. Morgan, I've never heard you use a British accent on this program. Are you English?
Am I English? Why, Freddie, my grandfather was the ringmaster in Piccadilly Circus. As a matter of fact...
Now, wait a minute, Morgan. Yeah. I'm not going to stand here and let you try to fool this kid.
Why, I don't be your... I'm not fooling him.
You're not fooling anybody, Mr. Morgan.
I'm the victim of a cabal. Master Bartholomew, have you ever heard me tell an untruth on this program?
Have I?
I accept your apology. It's been my good fortune, Freddie, to lead a very colorful existence. My career has probably been the most adventurous one of modern times.
It has, Mr. Morgan?
Yes, it's my misfortune now to be surrounded by such knaves and dolts, such pallid provincial pinheads, such unimaginative poltroons, they can't believe me. But, Freddie, as one Briton to another, you must believe me.
I was trained to believe in and tell the truth, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, and so was I, Freddie. Have you ever seen the Morgan coat of arms?
Coat of arms. He's got a seal now. Frank, will you excuse me for a few minutes?
Where are you going?
Down to the Liars Club to hear a little truth.
Cheap jibe.
Now, you were telling me about the Morgan seal.
Oh, yes, balances a ball on his nose. Oh, you mean our coat of arms, yes. I've got it right here on my signet ring. Here, you can look at it. There it is.
What a remarkable ring.
Yes.
I can't quite make out the motto, though.
The motto? Oh, yes. It says, In hoc signo veritas. Do you know what that means, son?
Yes, sir. It means, in this sign is the truth.
It does? Well, that's a relief. For years, I've been worried about that in hoc part. How do you like the ring, Freddie?
Oh, it's quite distinguished. In a crummy sort of way.
Yes, that's a very fitting description. What? Look, Freddie, in the lower corner of the shield is a lion rampant. In the upper corner is a griffin couchant. That represents truth. The whole design is in a fold of azure, which represents the truth and honesty. That's the Morgan crest, Freddie.
Well, that's wonderful, Mr. Morgan. How did it come into your family?
Well, my great-grandfather, Sir Henry Morgan, stole it from the Queen of Spain.
Sir Henry Morgan?
Yes.
Was he your great-grandfather?
But of course. Why, the sun, they see, has been in the Morgan blood for generations.
It has?
Yes. We used to think it was anemia. I'll never forget the day when I found Sir Henry's long-lost treasure chart in the attic of my grandfather's house. What an adventure that became.
Did you really go on a treasure hunt, Mr. Morgan?
I certainly did, son. I hired a little sloop and commanded her myself, with a crew of the most villainous cutthroats that ever manned a ship.
Oh, where did you find such a crew?
They were my brothers. We sailed from Cape Cod Harbor, and with a favoring following wind, we were able to drop our pilot on the third day. The sharks got him, and that was all there was to that. The fifth day, we were becalmed in the Straits of Madagascar.
Cape Cod to Madagascar in 5 days?
Yes, well, the lights were against us. We were lying at anchor with all sails set.
You were what?
Lying.
That's what I thought.
Yes, we were... Now, look here, young man. Are you insinuating this story is untrue?
Why, no, sir. I believe in your respect for the truth. It's as strong as my own.
Yes.
In hoc signo veritas, you know.
Veritas, yes, that's right. Well, we were on the high seas without a breath of breeze. The crew was getting restive, the water was all gone, and there was only a bare 100 gallons of whiskey between us and the torments of thirst.
Good heavens, no soda?
Soda. Soda, yes, that's a very intelligent question, my lad. Claims he's only 14. Well, at any rate, 2 days later, I was on the bridge with my telescope glued to my eye, and I sighted a breeze.
You sighted a breeze?
A breeze? A monsoon on the port bow, a typhoon to starboard, a water spout in the stern. The ship soon sprang a leak.
A leak? What did you do?
I put a pan under it. Then, having removed the immediate danger, I piped all hands on deck, and we battled with the elements for 36 hours. The elements won.
The ship went down?
And now reposes in Davy Jones' locker. Cast adrift on the turbulent deep, I clung desperately to a spar and struck out for the distant shore.
What a predicament.
Yes, there was only one distressing incident. 200 yards from land, I sighted a single shark cruising hungrily about. He looked at me and licked his chops.
Excuse me, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, my boy?
I understood that sharks never traveled alone, always in schools.
Schools, yes. Well, this one was playing hooky.
In hoc signo?
Veritas.
Yes, I know, Mr. Morgan. But what about the treasure?
Oh, yes, the treasure. Well, by a strange coincidence, this island was the location of Sir Henry's booty. I lost no time in searching for the cave. In order not to keep you in suspense any longer, I'll tell you at once that when I found the spot, the treasure had already been removed. A tragic ending for such a brave adventure.
Now, Mr. Morgan, you mean to tell me that these gentlemen on the program accuse you of telling falsehood?
They do, Freddie. It's only an occasional young fellow like yourself with high-minded, honorable instincts that can recognize the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Yes.
I suppose you'd like to know what became of your great-grandfather's treasure.
I'd give half my life. It's,
Well, sir, I reached the cave 5 minutes before you did and took the treasure away in a homemade balloon.
Freddie, in hoc signo.
Veritas.
Well, so long, son. I'm going to find a new slogan for the Morgan coat of arms.
Good work, Freddie. Good work. Thanks for coming up and putting Morgan in his place.